All right, says I'm live. You guys can hear me. Please let me know when we'll get this started. Sorry for being very late today. Just baseball going on. Lock was at 1:30, which we still have 20 minutes for that, but had to get my baseball lineups in. But we are full go NASCAR now. Have about 100 of you waiting. Appreciate y'all being here. Once I get everything configured, I will. There we go. What's up, Jake? What's up, Willie? What's up, Rick? What's up, Clint? Happy race day. Looking forward to the race today. 400 laps at Martinsville. I'm not expecting anything spectacular. Expecting more of a boring race, but perfectly fine. Perfectly fine with boring races, because that means craziness didn't happen for DFS purposes. And it makes it a lot more projectable. Let me stuff up. Let me pull up Bob's Twitter in advance, just so we can know if anybody ends up going to the rear for the Xfinity race. We had a bunch of guys like 10 minutes before the race starts going to the rear, so that was fun. But as far as I can see, Bob has not tweeted that yet for anybody that does want to ask me. All right, underscore to the top. You guys know the procedure. Said most of what I wanted to say in the previous video. Obviously, I have more updated thoughts on that once I ran projections, ownership projections, and things like that. But I'll be here just to answer any questions you guys have. So what's up, Jake? First one here says, great content. What is your top 5 finishers for today? So my projected top 5 finishers in the model are going to be Kyle Larson at 1, Hamlin at 2, Truex at 3, Elliott at 4, and Logano at 5. It's not quite the qualifying order, but it's pretty close to it. Billy says, Brad? Bad Brad? Yeah, I'm not huge on Brad Keselowski today. I got him projected for 39.5 points. Just not really getting too much in the dominator category. I kind of think he pretty much finishes close to where he starts. He could knock on the door for a top 10, but if he's not going to get any dominator points, like sure, he could click off some fast laps. I just don't really see it being extremely likely, so I'm not a huge fan of Brad today. Good morning, Rick. Nice of you to be here. What's up, Spreader? Yep, Spready with the wrench. What's up, Mom? Says hi, buddy. Happy race day, NASCAR family. Good luck, all. Thank you. Good, Joey. He almost won last week. He was close. And she wants to say she's still in the NCAA. Yeah, you're gonna win our little group. So shout out to my mom for doing that. My bracket is terrible. Hated all the chalk. There were some upsets, obviously, but not enough. Juan says Larson or Hamlin, pick one. Well, projection-wise, it'll be Larson for me. He's got the clearest path to dominating today, but they are 1-2 in pretty much all of my projections today. Love both, and I will be building around them. They look extremely strong. Sir says Elliott or Logano for the win. Let's go, man. Barry could win too. I mean, he could. I wouldn't expect Barry to win today, but obviously looked phenomenal at Richmond. I think he could be a top 10 contender today for sure. Not out on him for DFS either. But yeah, I'm hoping Elliott wins today. So the only bets I have, I put 1 unit on Blaney earlier in the week, I think on Tuesday, to win at plus 800. Feel all right about it. He pretty much is like plus 800 most places right now, or at least around there. And then right after practicing qualifying, DraftKings dropped Chase Elliott at plus 1400. So I put 0.6 units on that. That went down to 10-1. So I like the line movement. Let me see what it is right now. I just thought 14-1. I had him fair at around 1,000. So 14-1 seemed pretty good to me for Chase. And he's now at plus 900. So I feel pretty good about the line movement. We got on Chase Elliott there, and Blaney went to plus 900s. Is what it is. That's the risk you take when you're betting earlier in the week. Sometimes you get insane line movement. They crush in practice qualifying, and sometimes it goes up a little bit. Feel good about those two. Obviously, I don't think they're going to win. I do think it'll be Larson or Hamlin. Their cars look just exceptionally strong. But I don't bet on who I think is exactly going to win. I just take the value based. That's all I do. What's up, Keegan? Juan says top GPP. The guys I am building around for GPPs today. So the chalk dominators should be Larson, Truex, Hamlin. I think people are probably picking 2 of those in the majority of lineups. So excluding them, I want everyone to know I like them a lot. You exclude them, the guys I want to bet on today, I like the 2 Penske cars up top, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. I know that they have not been as strong as the Toyotas so far this year at the short flat tracks, but Ryan Blaney, exceptional at Martinsville. And this is a unique track, and these kind of guys just show up almost every single time. And Blaney was really strong at Phoenix, too. Don't forget that. Richmond just really isn't his track. Not the best at the tire wear tracks, it seems. So I like Blaney a lot in tournaments if you're getting off the chalky dominators, and I like Joey Logano. So amazing at Richmond. not so much at Phoenix, but these guys just crush Martinsville week in. Well, not week in, week out, but yearly, I should say. I like them in tournaments as far as being dominators. In the mid-range, I like Chase Briscoe a ton. Crushes Martinsville, great at short flat tracks. Qualified high, so I'm hoping that keeps some ownership off of him, but I think he's going to have a pretty fast car. And that track position is going to be huge. And this is a very tough track to pass at. And this will help him stay on the lead lap for the majority of the race. Like if we get like a really long green flag run and we have like 10 guys in the lead lap, if he's hanging in the top 10, I mean, that's definitely going to be big, and he can still fast laps throughout. So I like Chase Briscoe a lot in tournaments. And I also like I don't remember the guy I wrote up. Oh, Chase Elliott as well. I think Chase Elliott will have ownership, but at that price tag, he looks strong. Hendrick looks really good as the anniversary cars. It looks really sweet. I'm a big fan of Chase Elliott today, Chase Briscoe, and the two Penske cars in tournament. I think that'll be the good leverage spots. Because if you're looking at Elliott's numbers, if you stagger the practice groups, it looked like he had the third strongest car within his group. And he was in a pretty strong group with Larson and Hamlin. They looked like the two top dogs, but Chase Elliott's numbers didn't look too bad. So I'm definitely a fan here. I think he looks... And Martinsville's been a really good track for him. I know it feels like he's a bit washed at this point, but at some point he's going to break out. Had a good finish at Richmond, and if we look at Phoenix, I forget exactly where he finished, but the field got flipped and he just really couldn't pass after that. But besides that, with good track position, he was running top 5 for the majority of the time. So I think Chase Elliott can do that, click off fast laps. And if by chance he gets up front, he is crushing that price tag. I like him quite a bit as well. What's up, Earl? Big Gritter says, how do you feel about 2 punt plays in a lineup? I'm fine with that. I mean, I know people last week, we're saying to jam in Justin Haley, and people were upset about Justin Haley because he scored 15, 16 points, but I'm trying to tell you guys that's totally fine. Like the winner, someone won $25,000 with Justin Haley in their lineup just because he allows you to fit in those doms up top. It doesn't matter what they do, just survive the race, score 10, 15 points, and if that allows you to fit in a guy that scores 100 plus points, like if it comes down to, well, I don't want to roster Justin Haley because he's going to score 15 points, I'll take the other guy $1,000 more that scores me 20 points, but then I'm losing that 100-point guy just to fit in a guy that maybe scores 60 points because it looks better on the eyes. No, you want that guy that can score 100 plus points, lead a ton of laps. I don't care who the scrub is, just survive the race, and that's all I can ask for. So I am fine with punts today too. I mean, you're pushing it a little bit, but I think we can kind of classify Michael McDowell as a punt this week at only $6,300. If you want to plug Michael McDowell in with say a Harrison Burton, I'm okay with that. Now, if I'm talking playing Josh Williams and Heinrich in the same lap, I'm not a huge fan of that though. What's up, Tito? Says Truex will log out. I mean, it's quite possible today. It was Truex to log out last week, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw that once again. He should be strong. His morning boss, praise to be God, and Hendricks. Yeah, I think Hendricks should be good today. What's up, brother Chris? What's up, Michael? Woody for the win says, let's go racing, let's do it. Conscious says, Chase and Chase, Joey and Joe, Austin and Austin. Why not? Sure, why not? Although I don't really like Austin Cindric. I'm here, Michael. Sorry, a little bit late. Says I'm in makeup still. I was a little late. Start time here is definitely fluid. We have Josh Bilicki's biggest fan back. Says Josh Bilicki got a speeding ticket on the way to the track, so he's feeling fast today. The only time he will feel fast. And for the record, anybody that's new here, don't play Josh Bilicki. He is not in the player pool. Got a donor from C Gen, appreciate that. Says if you're pushing a 3 dom lineup, who do you have for the scrubs? So the scrubs, again, these guys are very, like, there is not much differentiating them. So I don't really have a strong lean. But the guys that project the best for me in optimal lineups of these scrubs this week are going to be Harrison Burton. Daniel Hemrick's actually popping a little bit. I mean, I know it's just because of where he's starting. I don't think the quality cars will be good by any means. But Harrison Burton, Daniel Hemrick to survive the race. Carson Hocevar, and Michael McDowell. Those are the punts I like today. And I do think Todd Gilliland is a bit of an interesting punt this week, just solely based off of where he is starting, which I know it's pretty likely he does fall back. But if he can use that track position to his advantage, I am showing slight positive leverage on him. So I don't totally hate Gilliland in tournaments. I wouldn't think about that in cash games, though. What's up, Clint? I do appreciate the donation, Jen. But yeah, what's up, Clint? Happy race day, Bubba or Truex, or both. I mean, if I could get the choice between Bubba or Truex, I'll take Truex any day. But I think Bubba Wallace is a fringe dominator option. Like tier 1 doms today, it's pretty obvious. It's Kyle Larson, it's Martin Truex Jr., it's Denny Hamlin. That's your tier 1 dominator group. Tier 2 for me is going to be Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. Then tier 3, you can get into some of those mid-tier drivers. I think Chase Briscoe has a shot. Bubba Wallace has a shot. Alex Bowman, slightly, maybe even Josh Berry. But that's kind of how I would tier the doms, potential doms today. And then obviously Bell and Byron could be contenders for that, but they're just starting far enough back to where I'm not 100% sure they're going to be in play to dominate the race. Possible, but they are not projecting as well as some of these other guys starting closer to the front. Let's get a K. Let the good times keep on rolling. What's up, Sean? What's up, Ross? Hello from Mississippi. Hello from Florida. Sarah? FAH says, holy hairdo. Well, we were in a bit of a hurry today. It was a bit of a scramble. S3 says, can we get 100 likes for this awesome free content? I hope so. I'd appreciate that. Happy race day. Let's dominate. Let's do a paper. Kay says, who are your top 4 lap leaders? Who are your top 4 contrarian lap leaders? As far as being a top dominator, I have it as Larson, Hamlin, Truex, then Elliott and Logano. I think should be surprising to anybody. And the contrarian dominators, I don't really think there's a contrarian dominator. It's hard to say anybody's going to get a front that really shouldn't be. But guys like Briscoe, Bubba Wallace. I'm not going to call Elliott a contrarian dominator because he's starting 3rd and it's Chase Elliott, but you want to throw that group. But I think Logano will be lower owned than Elliott, so I guess I would say like Logano, Briscoe, Bubba Wallace. What's up, Ryan? Who are the must-play doms to fit in the sub 6,500 scraps that look decent today? Thank you. I probably already answered that, but the must-play is Larson, Hamlin, Truex, and then down low. I talked about that. Burton, McDowell, Hemrick, it's gross. I expect nothing from Hemrick. Run the race. Hopefully he fits you some doms in. That's all you're asking for. Then I like Carson Host apart too. But honestly, just throw in whoever fits. I don't have a strong lean on any of these guys. I wouldn't play David Starr. The one guy I wouldn't mind just Xing out of my lineups today. He's going to be very slow. Mark says, core cash game plays. I would assume start with Larson and maybe Chase. Yeah, you're definitely starting with Larson in cash games. So if I was playing cash, I used to play cash in the day, but I only play tournaments now. But obviously I have a good feeling how you should play cash games. So I would start with Larson, and then honestly for me, I would pick one of the two of Hamlin or Truex. Whatever fills your build the best. I have noticed that Truex fits a little bit easier. I had them both projected pretty similar. I gave Hamlin a slight edge. He starts 4 spots further back, and like his car was a little bit stronger, but they should be pretty similar. So I would pick 2 of those 3, but Larson 100% in. Then after that, I like going to some of the mid-range. I like Ryan Preece a ton today. He should be very fast, starting in 22nd. He's not starting far enough back to where I'm super concerned he's going to go lap down early on, and he should have top 15 contention speed. So like Ryan Preece, Michael McDowell, it's going to feel gross. I got him projected for 28 points, a 26th place finish. That's 4.5x. It's honestly not too bad. I'm not expecting a lot out of McDowell, but if he contends for a top 30, fine for cash plays. I think about 4 of those guys where your starting point's going to be. You just have to find your lineup fillers after that. Don says, hit the like button. Only fair. Free click for the free knowledge. Appreciate that. Theodore says, I'm skipping class to watch this live, so you better know I love. Appreciate that. Thank you. Contra says, Chris, honest story, I passed on your advice in a nutshell, and he has doubled up since last year about 17 of 20 times. Thank you. I give you all the credit. I'll appreciate it. Thank you. Glad to hear it. Ross says, Briscoe, Burton, Elliott, Logano, MTJ, and Wallace. Okay, so our doms, we have Elliott, Logano, Truex, then Bubba Wallace is even thrown in there. So we have 4 potential doms, actually 5 with Chase Briscoe. So, I mean, you could be soaking up a ton of dominator points. Those are all the guys that steal fast laps throughout the race. Now, the issue is you don't have Kyle Larson, so you're really assuming that he fades back a bit. Bubba leads early on, then Truex. So I get the roster construction for that. So I don't think it's a bad build. Obviously, keep in mind there's a lot of risk without Kyle Larson, because if he just dominates stage 1 and cleans up like we did at Richmond, you're going to be in some trouble, but you can't play every lineup with Kyle Larson. So I don't mind the roster construction with it. Okay, well, I get it now, Conscious. I'm a little bit confused what you meant, but I'm happy for your friend. That's great. Hopefully we can make it, 18 out of 21 now. Anthony says, pump plays under 6K on DraftKings for a single entry. Highest projected guys for me under 6K are going to be Hocevar, Burton, LaJoy. Nothing special down there. Nicholas says, I have no clue what to do with Hamlin or Truex. It's tough because they look like the same exact play. We look at practice. Truex was in Group 1, and he was a bit slower in his group. It looks like Denny Hamlin has the better car. He was second in the 30 lap. Truex was 13th. Hamlin was third in the 25 lap. Truex was 11th. And again, practice is not the end all. I don't think Truex is going to be a fringe top 10 car. Because if you look at practice last week, I mean, Bell, he sucked in practice. So did Hamlin. You got to keep in mind groups and things like that. But if salary wasn't an issue, they're the same exact price, I will take Denny Hamlin. So my projections for Hamlin today, I got him 76.7 points, projected 5.57. Keep in mind that's second place. I don't project guys as 1, 2, 3, 4. That's dumb. But again, the second most dominator points, a little bit more than Martin Truex. But the price difference makes it to where Truex is at 6.5x and Hamlin's at 6.6. So it's very close. I mean, salary isn't an issue. I'm playing Denny. But yeah, I don't think you can really go wrong with either. What's up, C. Mitch? DraftKings GPP single entry, Larson, Logano, Bowman, Briscoe, Priest, and Cindric. I'm not really big on Cindric. I mean, I just sucks. Pull up what I have him for. Yeah, I'm not seeing much out of Cindric today. I got him projected to finish around 21st. That's 16 points. I just don't see any upside with him, really. We're looking at Cindric's practice. He was in the first group. Practice fine, but the first group had overall faster numbers. The entire list here. So he's about mid-pack for his group. And if we look at his numbers at short flat tracks, next gen car, Austin Cindric 4 sample size here in Martinsville, pretty much a 20th place guy. Does have a couple of top 15s, but 18 race sample size at short flat tracks. Again, basically a 20th place guy. He'll mix in some top 15s, but I just don't really see much out of Cindric here. And outside of like large field, just getting a few percentages. So for a single entry, I don't really feel comfortable with. The rest looks great though. I get it if it's your last piece fit. What's up, Grade A? One more go around for FanDuel 20 Max. Good luck, Chris, aka DFS Pillow Hair Legend. Yes, that is correct. But yeah, 20 Max was fun last week. I was able to. FanDuel was great. I took down the 20 Max. I took down like a 47 Max. The Mini Max was in there. Got that. So it was a great week last weekend. Plus nailing Denny at the end, which Denny was not the best car, but I'll take a backdoor W at plus 800 any week. Yes, hopefully we can have another good one. White Allen says, better finishing position, Blaney or Byron? I have it as Blaney. Hamlin, Larson, McDowell, Elliott, Gilliland, LaJoy. What would you change? Well, I love the top two doms you have there with Hamlin and Larson. I think they have the two best cars. Elliott should be good. He's too cheap. McDowell's just your cheap filler at the end. Should be able to move up, I'd hope. Gilliland, I like for tournaments. LaJoy, I'm assuming LaJoy's like the last guy there. I don't really think I would change anything. I mean, unless you have $100 more for Carson Hocevar. That really, other than that, I think that's it. Fine. Own GPP DraftKings plays. I've probably already been over that. But like I said, in tournaments today, I like Chase Briscoe a ton. I like Chase Elliott. Although Chase Elliott will be chalky, but I just want to be overweight on how owned he's going to be. I think Joey Logano is a good tournament play. But the cheap guys, I mean, there's really any low and cheap guys that I really want to get to. I love the 7K range, though. Bubba Wallace. I wouldn't mind being overweight on Bubba Wallace. Briscoe, I already talked about that. Barry, Priest, Gregson. Like, I love this 7K range, especially the SHR guys. I imagine they will show quite a bit of speed. Sam says, for FanDuel single entry, Elliott, Larson, Bell, Busher, and Priest. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. My FanDuel optimal, I think I'm gonna play it too. I'm between a couple of lineups right now, but I believe my FanDuel optimal was Larson, Hamlin, Elliott, Briscoe, Priest, which is very top heavy, like starting position wise. And you have Brian Priest starting in 22nd, but I think that's fine for a track like Martinsville. Just passing is difficult here. They can just stick it in the top 10 all day. I'll take it. I think the other version was swapping out Elliott and Briscoe for Busher and Bell, I believe, but maybe not. So I'm considering it still. What's up, Jim? Thoughts on Larson, Logano, Wallace, Briscoe, Gregson, and Austin Dillon? Good. I mean, I'm not like over the moon about Austin Dillon, but last piece fit starts 28th. RCR sucks at these tracks, but if you can like hang a top 25, I guess you take it. But the rest looks really good. Mundo says, would you say today's lineup construction should be more balanced instead of stars and scrubs? I think it's pretty much what we did last week. How you built lineups last week just exactly applies to this weekend, where if you're building balance, it looks better when you build balance, but if you're excluding yourself from guys like Larson, Hamlin, and Truex that can put up 100 plus points, it's not going to be worth it. Like, it's totally fine taking 10, 15 points out of a bum driver if it allows you to fit in a guy that can lead 200 laps. It makes up for it. It doesn't matter what they do down there. I think last week was a very good case in point of it. Now, obviously, it's not the preferred way to go. If you can get a bum driver that finishes top 20, sure, but that's a tall order. Thoughts on Busher? So I have Busher projected for an 18th place finish today, which I know Busher tends to sneak in top 15s most likely. Got him projected for nearly 40 fantasy points. That's 4.6x. I don't think he's a sucky play. The issue is I like the ceiling more with Chase Elliott because Busher's not going to dominate. I'm surprised if he does. Okay. But Elliott, I think, is going to get plus points today for where he's starting. I know the floor is much lower, but I'm just more inclined to play those kind of guys over like the PD guys today. Busher's fine. I have him optimal around 20% of the time, but he's going to be overowned, which I'm showing him slightly overowned right now. I would just take my chances on a guy like Chase to dominator points. Not saying you can't play both together. It just depends on the roster construction. Got done it from man Big Geb. Says, good morning, Chris. Let's go 3 for 3 this weekend. Which driver would be your most confident pivot for single entry GVP? Yes, I should mention we have been doing Xfinity and Trucks now, which I know I never used to do that, but I've been posting projections for that in the optimizer and Discord, and we've been pretty hot so far. So I'm putting that lightly, but it's been a really good start. So if anyone's interested in that, I do that. Not quite to the extent of Cup, but I do post projections for it. So hopefully we can keep the good times rolling, Gab. But what driver would be your most confident pivot for single entry GVP? So in single entry GVPs, I'm not sure a ton of people are going to want to click on Chase Briscoe today just because of the starting position. Like, there's so many other good plays here, like Ryan Priest starting in 22nd, you have Noah Gregson starting in 26th, and you can play them with Chase Briscoe, but I like him a lot for GPPs today, starting in 5th. And I believe he started top 5 both Martinsville races last year, and he still crushed it too. He is just really good at these types of tracks, and Martinsville specifically. So let's hope he doesn't have any issues with penalties or anything like that. That could easily kill your day when you're starting that far up. That's the risk you have to understand. But based off of speed, from what we saw, I mean, Briscoe looks like he's going to be good. And if he can click off fast laps and ride in the top 8, we'll take it. I do appreciate the dono, sir. What's up, Pugsley? Says he went Truex, Byron, Elliott, Bowman, Gregson, Hemrick. I don't know how I feel about it. So myself, I haven't been getting to a ton of Byron, which not like I haven't projected super poorly, just not really giving him too many dominator points. I do think Bell would be my preferred option over Byron. But roster construction wise, you have Truex as a dom, you have Elliott as a dom, which I mean, it makes sense. Plus, you already have 300 cars in there, so I mean, maybe you're going for the correlation. But I can't dog on the roster construction. What's up, Thomas? Nice to see you. Do we really like Harrison Burton today? Oh, we never like Harrison Burton, but I think you need to play him a little bit today just to make things fit. Just to make things fit. I believe Harrison Burton started 30. I forget where he started the 1 year in Martinsville, but he was in the optimal lineup. Not that it means it. Burton is one of the scrubs that pops a bit for me. It says my second lineup is Truex, Blaney, Elliott, Briscoe, Priest, and Hemrick. Which do you prefer? I prefer that one better. Guys, and I'm getting to a little bit more. It says DraftKings GVP 400 cards with McDowell and LaJoy. I mean, if you're just going for the full-on Hendrick narrative, Hendrick stack, I mean, the bums are fine that you have. Roll with it. LaJoy thoughts on DraftKings single entry? It's hard to have really any thoughts on these scrub drivers. I will say LaJoy was extremely fast in practice, but he wasn't Group 1. He is not going to be a top 5 car today. But starting in 32nd, he should be able to contend for a top 30 at the very least. 4-race sample size for him here at Martinsville. Average finish of 25th, running position of 22nd. No top 20s, but you just really need him to battle for a top 25, and you will take it. I would say short flat tracks have not really been his bread and butter in the next gen era. Only one top 20 to show for it. 18-race sample size and average running position of 28th. But if he runs 28th today, again, survive the race, pick up a couple spots. That's all you need. Not huge on the RFK cars, just mainly because of the pricing. If I had to pick one, though, I would take Buescher over Keselowski because you're getting him, what, like 20 spots further back almost. So I would definitely prefer Buescher over Keselowski. Barry Gregson or Priest in a GPP. I believe I have Priest projected the best out of them. Yeah, I have that ranked as Priest, Gregson, Barry. Both all pretty similar in projection, but I like Priest a lot. Adam says, my fiance isn't digging the shirt today, Chris. She's a Whitewater alum. How are you feeling about the SHR card? Probably not many people would understand that rivalry. So I apologize to the fiance. But it's always Mount Union. But I love the SHR cars. Love them all. Love Chase Briscoe. Love Ryan Priest. Love Noah Gregson. And I like Barry. I'm fine with all of them today. They showed speed last year. If you're ever going to play SHR cars, you typically want to do it at these types of tracks. I will be in on them today. I'm bold, so there. Looks great. Yeah. Can't argue with that. Just saw I got a dinner from Nicholas. Sorry. For some reason, sometimes they don't pop up. Don't know why. But I saw at least. Gun to the head. Who would you pick in single entry? MTJ or the 11? But if salary doesn't matter, I will take Denny Hamlin. Give me 4 extra spots. And I just think he's got a better car. Would you prefer the pair of Blaney and Barry or Byron and Bowman? Ooh, that is tough. I think Blaney has more Dominator upside today, so I will roll with Blaney. What's up, Obi? Vroom vroom. Yeah, autocorrect must change Blaney to Blakey a lot. I get that a lot. So no worries. Steve says Briscoe shocks the field today. I hope so. I will have a good amount of Briscoe today. Nothing much, Obi. Just chilling. Definitely got to get my lineups in here at some point. Keegan says Little Hendrick stack with Bowman, Elliott, and Larson. I'm fine with that. Love Elliott and Larson today. Bowman's like more of a fringe play for me, but I'm showing him optimal close to, oh, where's he at? Around 15% of the time. So certainly in play. Raider Jeff says, if I only go one of Larson, Truex, Hamlin on FanDuel single entry, what is the best pair with, who's the best to pair with him? Blaney or Logano? If salary isn't an issue, I would say Blaney because getting a couple extra spots right there. Although, what are the prices on FanDuel? Joey Logano is 11, Blaney is 12. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford Blaney, I got him projected 0.9 points higher over on FanDuel. Ryan says, do you have any interest in LaJoy with his practice speeds, or does his poor track history on short flat tracks keep you off of him? Kind of funny, we just went over that. I know I'm way behind in chat. But hopefully, I probably already answered your question on that one. So I guess I won't go over it again. Austin says, C-Pen helped us all make our house payments last night in Xfinity. Yeah, Xfinity was fun. Xfinity was fun. Trucks was fun. Was last week, so we'll take it. At least we're free rolling today. What's up, Johnny T? Favorite FanDuel plays for cash? Any must plays? Thanks again, as always. Appreciate it. Yeah, if I'm on FanDuel cash games, Kyle Larson, if you can afford one of Truex and Denny Hamlin, that would be my next starting point. But I think Chase Elliott's too cheap over there. And then I really like Ryan Preece at $6,200. Albert says, pairing punts like Hocevar and McDowell with Denny and Larson opens up the 7K range. 100% fine with that. Hocevar and McDowell are definitely guys that are popping a lot for me down low. Papa Giorgio says, is Ty Gibbs worth a couple of shots in a 20 max? So once I ran projections, Ty Gibbs just really wasn't looking too amazing. I have him optimal 10 to 12% of the time. On 1 to 2 lineups in a 20 max if you want to. Subgear says, how's weather around the track today? I think it's good. I thought I saw Bob put like a 0% chance of rain the other day, so I haven't looked since. But from the picture that Bob posted, it is perfectly blue skies over in Martin. So we should be good. How do I feel about Bell in a single entry today? If you are playing Bell, you got to get a couple guys up front for sure. So I'd have to know your roster construction. I just don't think he's going to be able to get up front and dominate. I did give him some dominant points because, I mean, I can't give him 0. So I gave him like 16.5 laps led and some fast laps mixed in. So I have him right around 55, 56 fantasy points today, which is fine. It's the best out of the non-Larson, Hamlin, Truex group, but it's definitely a tier off. So if you're playing Bell, I think I need to know the lineup. Because if you can get away with Kyle Larson, and then maybe, I mean, Briscoe would be cheapest potential dominator and Chase Elliott. So it should be easily doable. I'm okay with it. I mean, you got to have some relative. Although I feel like I'm going to have more of him on FanDuel than I would on DraftKings. Should we build around the guys starting in the top 15 starting spots on FanDuel? Yeah, I think on both sites. I mean, the guys in the top 15 should be fast, and passing will be tough today. I cannot imagine there's going to be a ton of passing in the field. I think Ryan Preece can move up. I think Bell and Byron will be able to move. Busher will be able to move down a little bit. But other than that, I'm not really sure we're going to see too many guys moving too much. Fred says, need a Blaney dub today. Really helped me out. I would be fine with that. I am rooting for Elliott and Blaney to win today, but we will see. I don't think they're going to win. Probably be the Denny show, Larson and Denny show, but see what happens. Thoughts on Josh Berry today? He's probably my least favorite of the SHR cars, and that doesn't sound as bad as it does because I like all the SHR cars quite a bit. But I have him projected to finish at 13.8 today, 29.9 points. Gave him some lap side and fast laps mixed in just because if you're starting close to the front, you have to factor it in a little bit. So Berry is playable. I got him above 4x value. But I do prefer the other SHR cars a little bit more. Soda Pop, what is up? It's just sub. Well, welcome in. Ryan Blaney for all the marbles. I mean, he's very good here, but I just don't think he's going to be as good as some of these other guys like Larson, Hamlin, and Truex today. But he's certainly playable. Did on him win earlier in the week. Exactly how I feel about it. What are my fair odds on Blaney right now? Yeah, so I bet him at plus 800. I have him fair at plus 1100 right now. So, not my favorite, but at least we got positive value on Elliott because I have him at plus 977. It's fair odds now. Raphael says, would you play Bowman and Byron in the same entry? Yeah, there's nothing against that. You just got to make sure you fit in the other DOMs with it. But yes, that's fine. Any bets? Yeah, if you're just getting in, only bets I had were Ryan Blaney at plus 800 earlier in the week. I would not bet that right now. And then I bet Chase Elliott after practice and qualifying at plus 1400. Don't think you can find that anywhere now. Let me see if let me check what other books have. Because I have them fair right around plus 1,000. Wouldn't be huge leverage at that point. But if anyone's hanging like an 11, you can get Elliott at plus 1,200 over on Caesars. If you wanted to throw like half a unit or 0.6 units on that, I don't mind it. It's not like an extremely confident play, but I do like the number currently. And again, do I think he's winning the race? No, that's not how we bet. We bet on value. Like if I bet who I thought was going to win the race, I'm betting Denny Hamlin, but I'm not betting him at plus 350. I have him fair at actually I have fair around 7. Definitely not betting that. Josh Berry in top 5 finishing position. I don't personally see that happening. Chitty says, thoughts on Bowman, Gibbs, Hamlin, Truex, Hemrick, and Haley for GPP. I'm not really loving the Hemrick and Haley together down there. Like, I'm fine with one of them, but 2 I think is a bit much. Maybe try to find a way to just get to one of those guys. Michael says, baseball is in now. Time to build NASCAR. Yes, I had to get my baseball in just before lock, which is why I was really late. But I don't really have much going on right now. Okay. What's up, 5J? Good luck this week. Good luck to you as well. What's the biggest you've ever won on DraftKings or FanDuel lineup? I've won the Chrome Horn before. I've won the Lug Nut a ton. What else? On the Gurney. So. And the Chrome Horn was definitely the biggest one. But that contest is very tough. Thoughts on Blaine at plus 900? I wouldn't bet it personally. Anyone going to the rear? I have not seen anybody go to the rear yet. Obviously, things could change. Hello, Miss Jules. Hello, handsome. Good luck, everybody. Have fun at the gym. I know you're there right now. Have a good leg day. Hopefully, we'll see you back soon. Last man in, Burton or Hemrick. I will take Burton. Hopefully I answered your question on that, Aaron, as far as bets are concerned. Anthony, host of our thoughts on DraftKings. The host of ours is one of my favorite punts today. You get a little bit of track position with him. I think he can kind of hold ground. That's all I'm asking for. Okay, says, who wins, Ford, Toyota, or Chevy? I mean, projections would say Larson wins. I would say Chevy, but I don't have a strong lean on that. I think Denny Hamlin will be right there with them. Thoughts on McDowell? Probably going to suck, probably going to be slow, but I think he can limp his way to like a 27, 26. And if he does that, you get 4.5x and basically the thoughts on McDowell. Ryan says, hey, Chris, love the input every week. Appreciate that, Ryan. Thoughts on FanDuel Cash with Hamlin, Larson, Priest, Logano, and McDowell? Not sure I love McDowell on FanDuel. I think he's more of a DraftKings play because on FanDuel, I mean, let me pull it up. So we're on FanDuel. I got him projected for 74.5, which it's not too far off these other guys. I wouldn't say he's the worst cash game play, but I feel like I'd want someone with a little bit more higher finishing position upside. I mean, I get it, it's your last. Not too bad. But I think if I'm playing cash games, I don't think I'm getting to McDowell there. He's not popping for me in my top 4 projection builds, but he's actually in my 5th one. And it's Hamlin, Larson, Elliott, Briscoe, McDowell. He's actually popping a little bit more in the bottom one, so I guess I'm hate on it. Definitely prefer him on DraftKings more than I do on FanDuel, though, but it does look like he's a little playable on FanDuel, unfortunately. I think one of my guys just hit a homer. Nope, never mind. Frank says, who would your doms be in single entry 3K man, 3,000 man contest? I'm assuming Larson had to be one of them. Yeah, if I'm playing a single entry, I am playing Larson first off, and then I'm picking either Truex or Hamlin. Depends on what fits. I don't think you can go wrong with either. In a perfect world, I would prefer Hamlin, though. Then he says, Larson, Wallace, Hamlin, Briscoe, the joint McDowell on DraftKings thought. So we have Larson and Hamlin as our big dogs. Love that. Like Briscoe. I like Bubba. Very top heavy, but at their prices, it's fine. I think it's fine for GPPs. Definitely not a cash lineup, though. Thoughts on Bubba? I do not hate Bubba today. I have him projected around 35 points. That's 4.6x. I gave him a 9.3 projected finish. Mixed in some dominator points in there. So I don't think he's playable. I actually have him optimal over 20% of the time, which is showing some positive leverage. So over in tournaments, Bubba is in play. Kai says, I'm going to eat 23 hot dogs and Truex is getting the win. Happy race. 23. Well, good luck, Ty. Good luck. Don't pass out before Truex wins. Steph says Hamlin, Larson, Bowman, Priest, McDowell, and LaJoy. Pretty solid. So we have 2 potential doms there. Bowman, fringe guy. Yeah, I think that can work. Alex says Larson, Truex, Chase, Bowman, and cheap PD guys. This lineup work? Yeah, 100%. And I like that you just made it cheap PD guys because honestly, I don't care who they are. I like the rest. So just put in some lineup fillers and just hope they don't wreck, I guess. I don't believe anybody is to the back yet. As far as I have seen, I'll pull up Bob's Twitter, and he has not said anything for rain. But for those of you who care, stages are going to be 80, 100, and 220. That is going to be a marathon. We get 9 sets of tires, and the field run is going to be 155 to 170 laps, and there's a 0% chance of. So that's good to know. What's up, David? How much salary should I leave on the table today? Not many. Not much. You want to fit in those DOMs, and I don't think leaving money on the table would be the best way to go about it. Change the lineup. Larson, Logano, Busher, Wallace, Briscoe, Burton, Faded Dillon. Thoughts? I think that looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. Deacon says I have a Bell lineup with Larson, Elliott, Briscoe, Hocevar, McDubb, so 3 DOMs with them. That's perfect then, because obviously Bell is not going to get those early dominator points, so he's going to have to work his way through the field, and you need guys that can get those early dominator points. That works. And he says, like the nickname someone posted last week, thoughts on Todd the Lightning Rod Gilly. Gilly is not a bad tournament play at all. If he can hold track position, that's the path. I got him projected for 21.2 points. I gave him a 20 place projected finish right on the dot. Obviously no dominator points, but optimal around 10-11% of the time. Like it's not like he's not showing up at all. It's a weird starting spot, but I do think he can somewhat hold ground, and if that track position helps him stay in the lead lap longer than these other guys that are going to go a lap down quite quickly, that's when that can work out. Like if we're in stage 3 and there's 18 guys up in the lead lap and Gillen's hanging around 17th, it just keeps him alive. The Jordan McDowell, I will take McDowell. How many DOMs you need on this slate? At least 2. At least 2. A lot of dominator points to go around. Thoughts on Suarez and how many DOMs would you plan to line up? Answer the DOM question. At least 2, but thoughts on Suarez? He's just in a weird spot for me. He is cheapish at $6,900 starting in 21st, but like if I'm playing a 20 max, I probably have him in 2 lineups like 10% of the time. It's just the 7K guys right above him look better to me. Hello, Lena. Happy race day. I picked Larson today for my work league. Appreciate you. I definitely think that's a solid way to go for your work. Larson looks like he's going to be extremely strong on the pole at Martinsville. Usually a good place to be. I believe the pole setter's been optimal in 3 out of the past 4 races here in the next gen era. That's even with Ryan Priest, too. Anyone under 6,800 you would choose? Well, first option for me under $6,800 would be McDowell. It was gross to say, but he's just so far back. Or not to see it at least working a little bit. Sorry, just checking something out here. Do I hate the idea of playing 3 of the Stewart-Haas racing guys, Barry, Priest, and Briscoe? No. I mean, it's going to be hard not to play these SCR guys today. Briscoe projects well, Priest projects well, Gregson does, and people are going to want to play Barry after last week, which I get. Hocevar, LaJoy, I will take Hocevar. Top 4 finishers today. Larson, Hamlin, Truex, Elliott. Hocevar, LaJoy on DraftKings last spot. Caps. Oh, seemed aggressive. Last one in, Haley or Stenhouse. I'll take Stenhouse. Who's your top 3 plays on FanDuel? I know we can't tell all your secrets. I mean, projection-wise on FanDuel, it's going to be him and Larson Bell. But I still have to build on FanDuel. But I think Larson will probably be my highest owned. And after that, we got some work to do to figure out who else it's going to be. But Briscoe is cheap. Wayne says, what's the strategy? I have 2 DOMs, 2 in the middle, and 2 in the back. I don't want to like gridlock yourself in starting positions, but I think at the very least, you're going to want 2 DOMs. At the very least. Other than that, I mean, I don't really think you need to force yourself to play guys in the middle of the pack. Andrew says, Larson, Elliott, Byron, Priest, Gregson, and Hosa. I can get with it. You got 2 DOMs. I think you're just kind of stacking Hendrick there with Byron. Yeah, roster construction-wise, it works out. Bell, Elliott, Wallace, Briscoe, Bowman, and Barry. For a fade Larson lineup, I don't mind that because you're getting the guy starting 2nd and 3rd. And you have Briscoe in 5th. So, yeah. Joe Coldham says, you skipped my question, CP. I didn't see it. I apologize. Can I get a PD group for today? Pretty please. Thanks as always. I mean, I don't ever build PD groups, ever. But, I mean, if you're making a place differential group of the guys that are most likely to gain spots today, I would say Bell, Byron, Busher, Priest, and McDowell. And Gregson. Gregson will be able to move up too. No one's on Zane Smith. I think he's my sleeper cheap guy. Yeah, I don't think anyone's on Zane Smith either. I don't project it well. Practice results. He was in the first group, I believe, so his numbers don't look too bad, but being in the first group is going to help things out a little bit. Charles says he's so underrated. Every week he makes a ballsy strategy call and holds his own with old tires or 2 tires. Love to see Todd get that number 2 car seat. We can get Austin Cindric out of there. That'd be great, but I don't think he's going anywhere, unfortunately. Alan says, can Bubba win this? I mean, I don't think he's going to win, but he's got a fast car at the very least. It was the fastest car in his group overall, averaging it out, but I don't think he was going to. Can, though? Sure. I just don't think he's going to be as consistent enough on pit road throughout the entire race and just be flawless and not making any mistakes throughout the course of 400 laps to win the race, personally. 20% optimal for Bubba makes me have to get him in 1. Yeah. If you're building more than 1 or 3 lineups, I think you should get some exposure to Bubba Wallace on DraftKings because if he goes out there and runs top 5 and steals fast laps, like he was running very well at Richmond, but the last pit stop at the very end, he was right there with Kyle Larson. That the reason that caution happened is because him and Kyle Larson got into it. And then Bubba Wallace has a bad pit stop, and at the end result, it doesn't look that great. But Wallace ran perfectly fine at Richmond. Yeah, donut from my man Spread. Appreciate that. Let's go 3 for 3 this weekend. Now that you're killing trucks in Xfinity, appreciate you. Thank you, Spread. Hopefully we can. And hopefully our guy Blaney can get the dub. Again, I'm not expecting that, but he's just so good here at Martinsville. We can never rule it out. I do appreciate it. Don't know. And also, you skipped out on Warzone last night, so we're going to have a discussion about that. Do you like Truex Jr. to win at 7-1? I do not. I have Truex fair at 786. I mean, it's not too far off, but I don't know if you can find an 800 anywhere. That might be pushing it. I would highly doubt that because DraftKings is showing 550. Nemechek or Haley? I'll take Nemechek there. Hocevar or McDowell? I will take McDowell. How do you feel about Haley moving up at all? I don't think Haley's going to be moving up, really. What's he starting? 27th? Yeah, Haley's starting 27th. I got him finishing 28.9. Pretty much have him holding ground. Gillen or LaJoy for DraftKings single entry? I actually have Gillen a couple points higher. Now, a lot more risk with that, starting half spots further up. Top 5 drivers to win the race. Larson, Hamlin, Truex, Elliott, and Logano would be my top 5 today. Byron or Bell? I will take Bell if salary is not an issue. I know Gralla is ugly. What's your projections on him? Scroll down. I have Gralla at 13.5 points. that great? No. But, you know, it could be worse. A couple guys worse than that, actually. Is it a good way to go with 3 DOMs today? Yeah, if you can fit in 3 DOMs, by all means. We got 400 laps. Any love for Nemechek? Not really any love. He's a last piece fit guy. Larson's fast. How many laps led? He is very fast. I am very conservative with my laps led projections because, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of things can happen. I do have him as the highest lap leader, though. I gave him 72.5 laps led. Do I think it's very likely he could lead more than that? Yes. But you got to spread out your dominator points as far for projections. You know, you can't just have like, oh, I'm going to project Larson to lead 200 laps. I'm going to give Hamlin 200 laps. Nobody else does anything. It's just not how. I mean, it could work like that in the race, sure. But for the love out projection. Ezra says, does Briscoe have a chance, in your opinion, to win the race? I think he has a chance, yes. As far as projected finishing order, I have him 7th. So he certainly has a chance. I have him winning 5.4% of the time. Is there a chance? Yes. Is it likely? No. Obviously. And for reference, I have Larson winning 19.3% of the time. I got dinner from Pugsley. Appreciate that. Says Truex, Blaney, Elliott, Briscoe, no Gregson, Hemrick, 2 top heavy. No, not at all. I mean, you have 1 punt and the rest looks very good. Unless you mean top heavy is in starting position, but man, I don't care about being in starting position top heavy today. This is a very tough track to pass on. Next gen car does not produce exactly the best racing. And if these just go long green flag runs, I mean, these guys starting in the back are going to go lap down. And you're going to want the guys up front. Now, Xfinity, I mean, they had a couple parking lot wrecks. So that got a bit messy. But these guys are better drivers than the Xfinity guys. And obviously the car is different too. Bowman, LaJoy, Larson, McDowell, Priest, and Truex thoughts. So we have Larson and Truex as our main DOMs. Bowman's like that French guy. A lot of Bowman love I have noticed in chat today. Priest I love. McDowell I like out of necessity. And then, yeah, his last piece of it. So roster construction would check out. Ron Paul 2012 says, if you're going 0% of 5 drivers in 150 max, which 5 would they be? Thanks as always, Chris. You're the GOAT. Appreciate that, Ron Paul. But guys, I would X out completely. I would not play David Starr today. I would not be playing. I can't imagine I'm playing Austin Cindric. Get some better names here. Probably not playing Kyle Busch, even though he's really cheap. Probably not playing Reddick. And I don't think I'm going to get too much Keselowski either. Isn't that kind of crazy to say you're not that interested in Kyle Busch at $100? Feels kind of scary to say, honestly. But RCR is so bad. He's for. I know track position is important, but I mean, I got Kyle Busch projected for 30.5 points. 8,100, I mean, you could do worse, but he's still not popping for me at all. What's up, Anthony? What are your thoughts on Keselowski? Just not a big fan because of the price point. I got him projected close to 40 points. Like, that's a decent day out of him, but probably just running where he starts. I just don't really see him getting much dominator points at all. I know he's been good here in the past, but top GPP plays for DraftKings. I like Chase Briscoe a lot. I like Chase Elliott. Like the Penske cars, if you're trying to get off the extremely chalky trio of Larson, Hamlin, Truex, I think Blaney and Logano be the next guys up if they're not to dominate. How many times has there been wrecks on this track the past few years, or is it truly following the leader? I mean, I don't have the exact numbers up. Exact number to tell you. We could probably pull up Racing Reference, though, and look at the DNFs. But I would imagine it's going to be pretty follow the leader today. All right, so we pull up 2023, the first Martinsville race in April. We had one car DNF, and it was JJ Yaley who started dead last. Other than that, everybody else made it through, and 24 guys finished on the lead lap. If we look at, sorry, my eyes are watering. I choked on something. If we look at the fall race, we had 3 guys DNF. One was Suarez, then Yaley again starting second to last, and then BJ McLeod in dead last. I mean, it's probably going to be pretty boring today. And then we only had 12 cars finish in the lead lap for that one too. And if we look at 2022, fall race, we saw 5 guys DNF, and they were pretty much all scrubs besides Tyler Reddick, but he started in the back. In the first race, 1 guy DNF, and it was BJ McLeod again. Take that for what you will. What that tells me is that we're going to have long green flag runs today, and you better hope you have the guy up front. Coach says, hey, Chris, what's up? What's up, Coach? Who's the top 2 Doms? For me, it's Lars. I'm going to make a top 3. Larson, Hamlin, Truex. 2 of that bunch is the best way to go, I think. Michael says, how do you feel about 95% Larson, 78% Briscoe, and 57% Hamlin? I think that's probably a bit much on Briscoe. I love Larson today, but I mean, 95% is a bit much. But if you just want to go all in on it, because if he dominates it, you're going to be sitting so well. So I'm okay with that. I would just say maybe limit your Briscoe a little bit, because while I do like him, he is still a high-risk play starting in 5th. Maybe just tone it down a little bit. Brett says, hey, Chris, what's up, Brett? Any left for Gibbs today? Not a ton. I just don't think he's going to offer the dominator upside that we need. Starting in 15th, I think he can move up a little bit, but not huge on him. Wallace, Larson, Bell, Chastain, Briscoe on FanDuel single. I haven't really found myself getting the Ross Chastain too much today. Myself, love the rest. See Mitch, 100% Larson and 3 max. I have a hard time not clicking him. Depends on just how chalky you want to be, because obviously that's going to be a very popular way to go. But if he cleans up stage 1, you are going to be sitting him all the rest of the race. He's got the best pit stall. He was really fast last week. He's good everywhere. He's Kyle Larson. I mean, yeah, if I was forced to lock anybody today, I would say Larson's probably the one guy I would do. How about Larson, Hamlin, Priest, McDowell, Gregson, and Gilliland? So you have the 2 Doms, Larson, Hamlin. Yeah, that's solid. I feel like I maybe would just want one guy closer to the front with that, though. I guess with Gilliland, I'm not going to be dominator or threat. Preacher says if you have a hard time clicking Larson, you might want to consider betting. Yeah, I mean, you always have to factor in ownership stuff. Nothing's ever a guarantee in NASCAR. Like for Larson, I am not showing a ton of positive leverage. I have ownership. His ownership today, I have him right around 45-ish%. I have him optimal around 45-ish%. So pretty even on the field. Now, that doesn't mean that, again, I mean, I factor. They could easily clean up and dominate. Nothing's ever a guarantee. Another donut from Pugsley. Appreciate that. So Larson, Bell, or Martin Truex Jr. Okay. Larson, Bell, or MTJ and Blaney and GPP. I mean, it's just tough because if Larson dominates the first stage, you are just probably toast. But I would say in GPP, MTJ and Blaney is not a bad way to go. This says, missed the first part of the show. Can you tell me your favorite cheap plays for large GPPs to fit in? Top expensive guys, I mean 9K plus guys are the cheap plays in a lineup. Well, the cheap guys I like are Harrison Burton, Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell. Those are the ones that are popping the most for me. And then just a little bit of LaJoy's coming up too. And 9K plus guys. I mean, for the most part, I am in DraftKings. I would take at least 2 of Larson, Hamlin, Truex, and then I like Chase Idle out there too. That helps. Although I guess Chase Idle is below 9K. Thoughts on Josh Williams and Zane Smith? Trash and trash, but you kind of need trash on this slate, so I'll play it. Josh Williams, I have projected for 14 points. Is what it is. I have Zane Smith around 12. Point flip of garbage, just so they finish the race, I guess. I mean, when you're rostering those guys, you just need to hit your DOMs, and it doesn't really matter what they're gonna do down there. I mean, it might matter a little bit, but it shouldn't be a huge deal at the end of the day. Thoughts on Reddick? Unless it's Phoenix, I usually don't have much interest in Reddick at the short flat tracks. So I don't see myself playing it today. Because I hope you kept your Larson on the rocket picture. That might be needed today, David. It might be needed. Might see that on Twitter later. Skylar says every time Larson is mega chalk, something happens to the team. He was mega chalk last week, and if you didn't have him, good luck. So, I wouldn't say that. Andy was mega chalk at Las Vegas, and he led almost every lap. So I always tell people they always remember the bad times when things don't work. They never remember the good times. And there's been a lot, and I mean a lot of good times where Larson's been chalk, and he absolutely smashed. So I can remember two off the top of my head right now. What's up, Levi? Wayne says, Briscoe and Wallace, are they a must-have in the lineup? They're definitely not a must-have, but they are solid GPP plays. I do slightly prefer Briscoe, though. Levi says, what do you think about Logano today? He's bouncing back. He bounced back last week in a big way. I wouldn't be surprised if he has another strong run. Do him as a tier 2 dominator today. Should be able to be a top 5 contender, so I'm fine with Briscoe in tournaments. Five Star says, time to end the show and get your lineups in. Early bird gets the worm. Yeah, I definitely got to get my builds in. I think Locke's at 3. Yeah, that is true, Skylar. He does either just take everyone's butt or something happens to him. There was a lot of DNFs last year from Kyle Larson. So I understand your point on that. I mean, if we're talking last year, there was definitely a lot of times where Larson just ends up wrecking out. So that's for sure. How I feel about Jones? I haven't really found myself getting that much Jones today. Byron, I think he's like a slightly worse play of Christopher Bell, but they're projected about the same. Harrison Burton and Daniel Hemrick, I know it's ugly. I'm going to throw up, but I'll say Harrison Burton. Yes, I'll see you in Discord, Rick. Yes, Candace, Truex is definitely pretty bad. Truex was losing his mind last week at the end of the race. He was taking his anger out on Kyle Larson for no reason. And then he hit his teammate Denny in the rear after the race. He was just having a bit of a meltdown, for sure. It wouldn't surprise me if he wins. Appreciate you being here, Skylar. Thank you very much. Do you like Gregson? I like Gregson a lot. All the SHR cars are in play for me. All of them. McDowell or Busher? I mean, if salary's not an issue, I'm taking Busher pretty easily there. But I think I got up to the chat finally. About an hour in, not too bad. Saw Matt Olson homered, so that's cool. And I have, nobody cares about baseball, but I have Gill at 2% on FanDuel, so we're riding that one. All right, anyway, I wish you all the best of luck today. If you have any more questions, leave them on my video. I'll try to get to it, but I'm going to be busy building and I'll be in Discord. So if you're ever in Discord, hit me up if you need to. But hoping for a boring race. Hopefully our guys dominate. Wish you all the best, and I'll see y'all next week, I think, at Texas, and then we have Talladega, so it should be a fun one. All right, but see y'all next time.